Hi, I'm Lini. I'm not as familiar with Invoker these days, but it's been curious to see the hero becoming one of the most popular mid laners next to Storm Spirit and Puck, despite previously being perceived as a relatively weak mid-game hero. With the meta leaning heavily towards 30+ minute finished matches, it's surprising to see the popularity of Invoker when the hero was once about Spirit Vessel and Hand of Midas, to then go into hibernation into the late game. However, in recent patches, Invoker has grown a lot in strength and dual capabilities. His laning is tough to break and his right click hits like a truck. Let's explore why that is, and if you know why he's strong, let me know in the comments, as I had to do a lot of research for this one. By the way, if you like these videos, please leave a comment below telling me your most hated hero. I need to know who I can start spamming in my pubs so the YouTube algorithm can be confused as to how people are watching videos about heroes they absolutely despise. For starters, let's mention the fact that Invoker is incredibly popular at the highest MMR, but he's also not as successful as your Pucks, Storms, or Queen of Pains, and ultimately that comes down to synergy and counter. Heroes that have a lot of mobility that you can't immediately lock down are tough for Invoker. So right off the bat, the best heroes against Invoker are also the most popular and they're played incredibly efficient, whereas in our average pub games, there's a lot more wiggle room for Invoker, and the best part is a lot of popular meta carries work perfectly with the hero. Medusa, Luna, Alchemist, Morphling, all these heroes love to receive Invoker's Alacrity and are hard to stop in the mid game. What's more is initiating offlaners like Mars, Legion Commander, Enigma are fantastic to set up for Invoker to knock the enemies down. Now that's the obvious stuff. Invoker works really well with the right lineup. It's easy for me to say that right off the bat, but it is especially important when deciding when to pick Invoker. With Pipe of Insight being weakened across multiple patches and games starting to end earlier, Invoker comes in with a lot to offer and value with today's popular lineups. All that said, Invoker has had real changes made to him over the past year to both his laning stage, making it substantially easier, and for starters, his innate ability Mastermind now works on denies when even using summons since 7.36c. So a universal attribute hero like Invoker is a menace in the lane. Combined with his Forged Spirit, he is last hitting and denying your mid laner with ease and getting additional experience from it. Over time, that bit more of experience compounds to a higher level and earlier timing, making him immensely more powerful when ganking the side lanes. Now, despite agnostic seeming like the facet for right-clicking Invoker, it's actually elitist, the more popular facet, both due to the lifesteal component, but also Wex providing movement speed. So spells like EMP, Tornado, and Cold Snap are your ways of controlling and nullifying the lane. They also serve to gank, so if you opt for Quas Exhort, I think you'll find your output just not as impactful as Quas Wex. That doesn't mean that it won't work out, just that it's a different approach versus the versatility that Quas Wex offers, especially now that you're playing as an early to mid game type hero. You're utilizing your spells to incapacitate the enemy before your right click with items like Witchblade and her Picking Pike to tear enemies down with straight up physical damage. This gives Invoker both solo slaying aggression in the early game, but also mid game output from both spells and his right click. To note that each point in Quas Wex Exhort also contributes to stats, so Invoker is just naturally gaining damage over time as a universal attribute hero while running around at 376 movement speed or around there by level 10. For comparison, Lion has about, 370 movement speed with Tranquil Boots, so Invoker is definitely getting some mileage out of Wex, and it providing agility means he has decent armor and attack speed to go along with his first item, Witchblade. All that extra movement speed means that Invoker no longer requires large items like Blink Dagger, shifting his capabilities to gank all the more earlier. Don't forget that in 7.37b, Invoker can cast Quas Wex Exhort and Invoke without breaking his invisibility, giving him both positioning, movement, and invisibility to initiate, even solo kill, or escape on the fly.
He's looking for the setup, and he's just about to found it. Finds Costabile, kisses are coming in. Costabile is going to try and juice the pipe is popped to help him out. GH not. He's going to get the cog control. Doesn't get the hook shot to Costabile, but does manage to trap him in the cogs. Move, cook it forwards, and they're going to turn this into potentially more kills. Enigma Galaxy. PP trying to fight back, and he rolls across. Moves just incredibly tanky here, withstanding a lot of damage. Big Mac, he's still surviving. Finally falls, but indeed it's more time for Miracle to turn up to the fight. Blocks off the rollaway attempt from PP. It's 4 dead on Infinity. He's going to get taken out as well. It's a full team wipe by Enigma Galaxy.
So in terms of his itemization, I think I already hinted at a few items for you. The popularity of Witchblade aligns with his new early game right click capabilities, especially with the amount of attack speed he's getting by maxing out Wex early on and the double wrist bands for the lane. The Hurricane Pike aligns with that, where it does help you reach foes closer to your caster range with Cold Snap, but more importantly, it means you can initiate on enemies with your spells from Ghost Walk, and then push them back and finish them off with your incredible attack speed and universal attribute damage with the Hurricane Pike. The Hurricane Pike provides versatile positioning that Invoker players once relied on Blink Dagger for in terms of initiation, but evidently is also to help you detach from engagements and ultimately get some distance, then Ghost Walk away without enemies seeing where you went. Hurricane Pike is just an all-around great item.
Put your hands up. No. What? I said no. Why not? I don't want to. But I've got a ghost walk. I don't care.
The rest of the items for Invoker are no-brainers. Sight the Vice, if you get that far, to start up your spell combos. Refresher, Octarine Core, given you have so many spells with cooldowns you want to loosen up. Not to mention Double Black King Bar is always appreciated on Invoker. Lastly, Parasma to capitalize on your damage and intelligence gains when Exhort is finally maxed out, while Ag Shard for Invoker helps shut down heroes like, Medusa with up to 90% burn damage. In many ways, late game Invoker is just as you know it, since eventually the hero becomes maxed out in Quaswex Exhort before getting most of his talents, like his level 10 talent, reduction in Tornado cooldown, or his 15 talent being reduction in Cold Snap cooldown. So, in summary, Invoker has had two key areas improved for him. One, his laning stage has gotten substantially easier, where denying from Invoker or his Forged Spirits means more experience for him, thus overtaking a lot of mid laners in terms of levels, thus damage and scaling. On top of that, with the elitist facet, the lifesteal from his attacks means he's comfortably sustaining throughout, so harassing him out of the lane requires a significant commitment when you may be more focused on securing creep kills so you can hit your own item timings to roam to the other lanes. Number 2, Wex providing movement speed means that Invoker has incredible movement speed to go with his scaling damage as a universal attribute hero that combos well with the spell amplification he is getting. With that, he roams really well with his first item, Witchblade, no different than your Pucks and Storm Spirits, but with a lot more help on setup and follow through due to his spells. The key to Invoker's success is understanding that his spells have incredibly long range, like Tornado, which purges buffs, and Cold Snap, while he can maneuver the map very quickly and create easy gank opportunities without needing to wait on runes nor giving up much farm in the mid lane. While Witchblade is his usual pickup, it's not unheard of to maybe grab Spirit Vessel, as it naturally works really well if you're Cold Snap, and strong against heroes like Dragonite or Centaur. Or even how about an Orchid when you need an immediate debuff to jump on shifty enemies like, Puck or Ember Spirit. So Invoker treads the line of being a great right clicker, but also having incredible arsenal of spells to help with the lack of crowd control your supports likely can offer. With his safe laning stage and duality of auto attack damage mixed with crowd control, Invoker is coming with the complete package to round out your lineup. If you're playing him as Quas Exhort late game spellcaster, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed. Anyways, let me know in the comments how you feel about Invoker, and I'll see you guys next time.